Okay, shalom, shalom, kwam yasha'Allah, koholoyimla, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kahakodash, double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who do rule well, that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. And just want to say Thawada to all the H.I.M and Akwaf that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai to the best of their ability. This is Yachanan Nawaf, just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And let's go into the scriptures on Numbers chapter 1, where it goes up into your pedigree, like how your lineage is determined, because your lineage goes by your father. That's a real thing that must be taught when you come into this truth, because there are people that's out here that look like other nations that are actually Israelites, and everybody is not going to look like a so-called black person or so-called Hispanic or Native American. There are people that's out here that completely look like Edomites, completely look like so-called Chinese people, completely look like so-called Japanese people, so on and so forth, that are actually Israelites, because we've been scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, according to, the scriptures. I mean, the Lord scattered us. We're everywhere. We're everywhere. And I'm doing this lesson because I was kicking it with an employee that works with me, at the plantation or whatever. And she looks like a complete white woman. I wouldn't, I'm thinking she's an Edomite all the time. But, it started to kind of dawn on me, I'm thinking like, the way the shit that she go through, I'll put it that way. I'm like, damn, shit, that sounds like some Israelite shit. That sounds like some curse shit, you know what I'm saying, that she's going through, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's typical Negro shit that she's going through. She got, she's like 25 or so. She has 5 kids. The oldest one is 11, you know what I'm saying? And she's talking about how she, different things about, just not being able to really keep up with her bills. And hey, what's good? What's good? What up with you, bro? Not being able to keep up with her bills, no food in the house type of deal, all this shit. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, that was like, like months back. And I'm like, she sounds like she going through the shit that Israelites go through. I'm thinking like, she's just a so-called white woman, you know what I'm saying, that's just going through some shit, you know what I'm saying, because America is foul towards even their own. And it just something that I just didn't really think of. So I'm kicking it with her, and come to find out, her dad is a so-called black man. Now, mind you, she looks completely like a fucking Edomite. I said, oh, that's when it hit me, and it dawned on me, that's why your ass going through all the shit that you're going through. That's why. Her mom is a so-called white woman, and her dad is a so-called, she said, black or Indian or something like that. And I kind of explained to her a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I didn't want to go too hard with it, you know what I'm saying? But, kind of explained to her that, if your dad is a so-called black man, you know what I'm saying, then he would be an Israelite from the tribe of Judah, and if he's a so-called Indian, then he would be a Gadite, from the tribe of, he would be from the tribe of Gad, so to speak. I didn't, like I said, I didn't go too hard with it. It was just kind of like a quick little conversation. I didn't go off into the curses. I didn't go off into, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't go, because it was only a split second type of little ordeal. But it dawned on me. I'm like, but damn, that's why. Because I'm thinking all along, like, this is just some fucking white lady that's fucking crazy as hell. And, she's just going through shit. But it did hit me one time out of spirit, like, like, she sound like she might be, she going through shit that so-called Negro women go through. Because like I said, again, to be 20, don't get me wrong, it's so-called white women out here too that's, got kids, and going through shit. Because like I said, again, America is just whack as hell, but 26, I think that's how old she is, 25, 26, with 5 children. Again, her oldest is 11. So, she got going early as shit. And, you know, the shit that she going through, because I need to get a second job and I got to do this and, you know, all this. I'm looking like, you know, but she told me that I just asked, you know, I had to ask, you know what I'm saying? And she ended up telling me that her father was so-called black, Native American or something to that extent. And I'm like, okay, now I see what's up. But anyway, let's get the scriptures. This is Numbers chapter 1, right? And this is how genealogy or your lineage or your pedigree, whatever you are what your father is. There's no way around it. And the brother, you know what? Me speaking on that, let me see. I might be able to go off into this too. Go off into YouTube real quick. I was just watching this brother's video. He had he just had it was a quick little video that he had up. I think he got it from TikTok, maybe. Let me see here. I may not even have it up here. Let's see here. I'm trying to think, where did I see it at? Oh, I don't even see it in my history. But he had, you know, he had a video up of this woman talking about the seed line of the dad. You know, it was just a TikTok video. She was like, well, Dad, you know, if the male carries the seed, then why is he so obsolete in this world? Like, why does the woman take possession of the child as if it's her, you know, when it is, you know, it actually comes from him? I was like, man, she was just a regular old chick, you know, just talking. I don't even see the video. I was just watching that video too. I'm surprised it's not in my history. Maybe I was watching it on another one of my channels or whatever. I wanted to, nope. I don't have it in here. I was probably watching it on another channel. Anyway, let's get the scriptures. Quick little video, you know, nothing too major. But this is important because you can't look at people and just be like, oh, that's a so-called white man or that's a so-called white woman, you know, because Israelites are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, and we do look like every other nation. And that's according to Revelation as well, you know, when our forefather John, you know, when he had the visions, you know, when he was on the island of Patmos, you know what I'm saying? You know, he was asking, who are these? Roughly paraphrasing. And, you know, hey, we look like all the different nations, man, you know, because I can imagine him not knowing, you know, at that particular time, you know, because Israelites, you know, overall, just, you know, you pretty much knew what Israelites looked like. You know, it was more of a darker race before this time period that we're in now. And I guess he wasn't expecting that we would be all over well, you know, he would have known, so to speak, but, you know, us being all over the world and populating all over the world and having sex with all these different women of all the different nations and us looking the way that we look today. So anyway, this is Numbers chapter 1. I'm going to get verse 1. It says, and the Lord Yahweh spake unto Moses in the wilderness of Sinai, in the tabernacle of the congregation, on the first day of the second month, in the second year, after they were come out of the land of Egypt, saying, take ye the sum of all the congregation of the children of Israel after their families by the house of their fathers, with the number of their names, every male by their poll. So you can clearly see here that it goes by the house of your father. That's why, you know, you say, for instance, a man, he'll have a son and a daughter, for instance. That son is going to carry on his name to the end of time. He's going to carry on his father's name. Now, his daughter, she carries on his name until she gets married to another guy. Then that woman takes on the name of the household of the guy that she marries, so on and so forth. So it all goes through the male. But see, living here in America, in a Western society, Esau done switched and flipped every damn thing. And, you know, he's so goddamn smart that he's stupid. But he's teaching people that they're biracial, that they're mixed, they're, you know, you're multiracial, you're this and that. No, and people are proud as hell. I'm 13% this, I'm, you know, they go and they take these damn 23andMe, you know, damn DNA tests. And that shit is silly as hell because you really are what your dad is. You know, I went into that yesterday, you know, in a lesson. Citizenship of where you live is not the same as ethnicity, your real nationality, right? So let's go down to verse 18. It says, and they established all the congregation together on the first day of the second month, and they declared their pedigrees after their families by the house of their fathers, according to the number of the names from 20 years old and upward by their polls. So a pedigree is an ancestry line, right? Let's get the word. Let me see. Let's define it. Let's get it in Google. Well, let's see what Google has to say about pedigree. The record or descent of an animal, showing it is purebred. Then you have a second. This is the one that we need right here. The second definition. The recorded ancestry, especially upper class ancestry of a person or family, with the pedigree equal to many of the gentry. And then, of course, you got the similars, ancestry, descent, lineage. You got line of descent, genealogy, family tree, extraction, derivation, origin, heritage, parentage, paternity, birth, family, dynasty, house, race, strain, stock, breed, blood, bloodline, history, background, roots, stirps, affiliation, and stemma. So as you can clearly see, a pedigree is what your father is according to the scriptures. So, like I said again, I didn't want to keep this lesson long because I was, just kicking with this. I'm like, well, damn, because I'm listening like, I don't want to hear that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm thinking to myself, like, you sound like the same, you just sound like a nigga woman. And come to find out, that's exactly what she is. She just looks like a so-called white lady. I'm talking about look like for real, looks like a complete white lady. I'm just thinking like, yeah, I don't want to hear that. Get your ass out of my, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking to myself, you fucking Edomite, get your ass out of here. Good you're going through what you're going through, But come to find out, she's an Israelite, man. And I'm like, damn, so I had to check myself, man. But, chill on the you new brothers, you know what I'm saying, that's coming into this truth. And you're starting to go out on the highways and byways and you're doing these lessons. You have to really, test the spirit. Because the scriptures talks about, let me see here. Your spirit. Let me see how it's worded. Yeah. Oh, man. Quite a bit. Okay, Romans 8:16, it says, the Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of Yahweh. So if the Spirit beareth witness, you know what I'm saying? Because you gotta ask a few questions. You have to, check, first off, first thing you should be asking is, okay, what's your dad? What's your granddad? Do you know anything about your family? Some people don't know. Some people don't actually know what their dad is. They never even been with their dad. They never grew up with their dad. They never met their dad. So you have to test the spirit. You have to ask certain questions. What do you feel about slavery? What do you feel about what's been done to the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans in this country? Certain questions. You can pretty much you can see, that spirit. Because see, Israelites have a different spirit, man. That spirit is real. The spirits that the Lord placed within these nations are real, man. The Lord is the Father of spirits. It's real. And you have to look at it that way. You can't just look at a person and be like, it makes perfect sense. You know what I'm saying? The apostles, they trained us well on, you can't just look at somebody, man, and be like, oh, well, that's fucking Moabite, damn Chinese, you this, you that. You can't look at somebody by skin, their appearance. You can't look at somebody like that, man, and say that they're, you have to test their spirit. Because there are Israelites that look like everybody. We look like Taiwanese. We look like them people from Singapore. we look like so-called Chinese, so-called Japanese. Man, we look like everybody. You see? And then, like you got like people that look like so-called black people that are not Israelites. They're not our people. Like, say for instance, like Tracy Ellis Ross. I remember, you know what I'm saying, years back, when she was younger, like shit, Tracy Ellis Ross was, fine as shit. She's not a bad looking chick. She had body. You know what I'm saying? Nice looking, yeah. And all that time I was thinking that she was a so-called black woman, but she's a so-called white woman that just so happened to look like us because of her dad, because her dad is a damn Edomite. You got the Maury twins. You know what I'm saying? Them some decent looking women. You know what I'm saying? But they're Edomites. They just so happen to just take on a little bit of their mother's color, a little bit of their mother's features. There's some, you got Jussie Smollett. Them Smollett children. They look like so-called black people. They got, the hair texture a little bit, you know what I'm saying? They're all, but they are so-called white people because their father, you go by the seed line of your father. That's very, very important when you come into this truth. So, you don't want to offend one of the little ones, so to speak. Because the scripture talks about how it goes off into let me see if I can find that. You want to be careful of that, man. I'll just put it that way. And pray for discernment. Just pray to Yahweh about Shem Yahweh for discernment, man. It's that Mark, they have it in Mark right here, Mark 9:42. And whosoever shall offend one of these little ones that believe in me, it is better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck and he were cast into the sea. See, that's very serious. You don't want no smoke with the Lord, man, about the children of Israel, man, and this truth, man. This is very, very powerful work, man. This work has been going on for over 2,000 years. We are almost at the end of this thing. See, Christianity has phased out. White Jesus Christianity. It hasn't helped nobody. All it has done but only thing it's done to our people is decay them, destroy them. Now the Lord in these last days are sending out his men, to reach the Israelites, you know what I'm saying, the elect of Israel. And, you have to know this particular information to properly go out and teach, man. You can't just go out and teach and just be like, because I see videos all the time of different camps where they don't even ask people. They don't even ask people. The apostle Tahar, he had a video up the other day with I think it was IUIC and what appeared to be a so-called white woman. She was asking, what's the name of the Lord? And they didn't, they just came at her like she was just a damn Edomite. They didn't know if she was an Edomite or not. They didn't ask her. They didn't ask her any of her history or check her spirit or anything like that. They was just, placed on the back foot because of the name of the Lord. They hate the name of the Lord. That's another thing, when you come into this truth and you're out teaching, man, you got to teach the name of the Lord, which the Father's name is Yahweh, which means that he exists, or the existing one. And the true name of our Lord and Savior, which the world equally calls Jesus, is Yahweh Shai. And you have to explain to the people that, hey, if he was walking the earth today, he would be a so-called black man. So, keep it simple, man, when it comes to this truth, man. Don't go all hardcore, man, because Jake trying to get too damn deep. You go into a whole bunch of shit that don't even need to be, you running shit down on people that don't even need to hear that shit right off. Just explain to them, you know what I'm saying? Hey, look, the true name of the Father is Yahweh. The true name of his son is Yahweh Shai. You need to repent to the Father Yahweh in the name of his son Yahweh Shai. It's going to be certain little questions. People are going to ask things, but keep it basic with people because they don't know no better. They really just don't know, what's up. You can't run down your whole 15 years of being in the truth on a person within 30 minutes. You just got to give them the basics, man. Let them know, the basics of Deuteronomy 7:6. The Lord chose us as a holy people to himself. Things like that. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to have some buck ups. People going to buck up, and you're going to have some wicked ass Jake. But whether they hear it for bear, just give them the plain truth, man. So, I just wanted to just touch on that because when I was kicking it with this chick, I'm like, shit, you sound like the typical black chick. Not knowing that she really She really is. You know what I'm saying? She just looks like a white woman. Oh man, so I felt kind of bad about it. So I'm checking myself, man. So be on point with that, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't just look at people and be like, oh, you know, when you first come into this truth, you got such a zeal though. You just so damn angry because you've been lied to. I remember when I first came in, I was cutting into everybody that looked like a damn so-called white person. Like, man, you, you know, but you got to chill on that, man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, with that, I pray that the lesson was edifying, Kwame Yashola.